What's up, family and friends? Welcome to the Woke Nation, our nation of factual truth, where we feel free to share knowledge and spread the knowledge of factual truth without fear, without favor, and without faint. Where we encourage us to live our life and live it well through the knowledge of factual truth, because it's our lives. And I personally encourage you to enjoy your life wherever you are. Don't let anyone rob your joy for living. You were born to live and explore and enjoy your life. Don't let anyone through belief system make you still living in confusion, believing there is a higher power over you or a God you must give account to. Uh, Let me say it in the beginning, that we say it also maybe towards the ending. Check my wall, you will see the new post I made about the famous states, last words before death. I made it on purpose. I made that post on purpose to give the taste of their own medicine. You know, they always tell lies. Whenever people they say they are atheists dies, they made up some words, say that that's what they say at their deathbed. Imagine. But when it's a believer that died, according to their word, if their fellow believer in God dies, they will not tell you their last word at their deathbed. So I decided to make up that one too. He said, I made it up. And I encourage all of us to be doing the same, to be giving the taste of their own medicine, which is why you always see me using the same tactics they used to enslave us to try to wake us up. They use lies, they use plagiarism and all that. So I'm using all that. When they tell lies, I twist it for them and use it against them because I can. I know their secret. I know what is going on. Many of you don't. You think you will just bring the revolution because you know how to speak or you are a graduate or you went to school, but you actually lack the knowledge of what is going on. So that's why you think, oh, you are no longer religious now, but you are now spiritual. The same bullshit. So I titled this, Who Gave God Power? Who gave God power? Some of you will say, nobody gave God power. God is our power. Our power belongs to God. It's a lie they told you. Have you seen any God that said that he has power? It is always people who are giving God power through their preaching, through their teaching, through their belief, through their practice, through their activities, through their gatherings, through their cult, through their faith, through their belief. It is people giving God power. Somebody said that God is an abstract idea that requires human belief to have life, have power, to exist. If you don't believe in God, God does not exist. And you did not grow up and start believing in God. No. It was beaten into you by your parents and guidance when you were too little to say, mommy, I don't believe that. Daddy, I don't believe that. Uh-uh. When you were too little, they beat God into you. You weren't born with any knowledge of God or with any idea of God. It is people who gave you that God, and you join them in giving that God power. See, I've answered that question, right? So I will go on saying more. God is a word for conquering and controlling. If you read especially the Bible very well, it said in the beginning, God said what? He said that God said, let there be. So God is a word. He said in the beginning, God created. God said, let there be. And there was, there blah, blah, blah. And they tell you God is light. He said, God said, let there be light. And there was light. And they tell you God is light. You see that? So God is a word. And when you read that first chapter of Genesis, You will see that there it is for conquering and controlling innocent people. People they conquered, then they begin to control them. Say God made man and gave them and blessed them and gave them blessed them and gave them power to have dominion over all things. You know, they begin to have dominion. Human beings don't have dominion. We were not born to have dominion over anyone or anything. We were born to live, explore, and enjoy life. Have people that have dominion are evil people, and people that have dominion, they are the one controlling people, making up all those laws and commandments of God, telling you God sent them or God chose them or God say this or God say that, robbing you in the name of God, although they are evil. And they show you that, but that they are covering it using the name of God because God is evil. Anti-nature. God is a man of war, or I mean, a man, if you read their book also. When you hear that God is a man, it means God was created by man. Man created God. God did not create man. That's why God have every characteristics of man. God have every behavior of the man. Hand of God, head of God, blah, blah, blah. They tell you God created man in his own image. No, it was man who created God in his own image. If God was not created by man, God will not have head. God will not have eyes. God will not have nose or mouth. And if you can see your own body, you're supposed to see God, but you cannot see God because the same person or the same people that created God made God invisible because they know there is no God. No one has seen God at any time. Check that post I made about the theists that, you know, the last word for those famous theists that uttered those words. You will understand more and it will encourage you to do what the theists are doing. I say that time is coming when we'll be evangelizing also the same way they're evangelizing in our land, converting people. We will do that to revert people, not to convert people. Take back to their original state before they were converted. God is an empty blessing and empty curse. Anyone that said they bless you in the name of God, that's empty word. Anyone that said they curse you in the name of God, that's empty word. God cannot bless, God cannot curse anyone. But blessing of God is meant for slaves. People that enslave them, tell them, God bless you. God has given you life. At least be grateful you have life. Be grateful you wake up. Many people did not see it. Many people are there, blah, blah, and you begin to live in that illusion. God has blessed me, that I'm alive. I am blessed. How are you doing today, brother? I am blessed. How are you doing today, sister? I am blessed. Blessed by who? God bless me. Yeah, no, you're not. You are not blessed. You are human. You are alive, living. So God is is a made up blessing word or curse word. That curse word is for the free men. They made the curse of God for free men. Men who question the existence of God. Men who question the servants of God. Men who question belief, faith, and all those nonsense people made up in the name of God or do in the name of God. When you question them, they say you are cursed. They curse you because God is empty word of curse they made up. So, but who is God? I always said, who is God is a wrong question. If you're talking about like if God truly exists, who is God? It's supposed to be what is God because God is a word that made up and all that. Give it a name, give it characteristics or behaviors of human being. So it's what is God? God is made up. God is an idol. As I said, idol. Another word for God is idol. A worshiper of God is an idol worshiper. So if you're worshiping the God Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, Buddha, you are worshiping idol. Okay, so you're supposed to know that God was used to cover the people, the people that is destroying this world. That's why God is evil. So who, when you say who is God, the God you're talking about are the invaders, the enslavers, the colonizers, those who invaded enslaved and colonized Africans, they are the God. And they gave you government. That's why government is God. Government can shut down stuff, shut down everything. There's nothing you can do about that because they are the one that is still destroying the world as we speak. So you know who they are. Who is God? The invaders, enslavers, and colonizers of Africa. They are the God people worship today. When you say you worship God or you believe there is God, whether you say it's a higher power, you are talking about the invaders, enslavers, and the colonizers of Africans. Say, no, but white people also worship God to their own advantage, to their own disadvantage. They are the one benefiting from everything God. Africans are not benefiting from any God. Whether you say it's gods of your ancestors or gods of your land, though, no, they are not working for you. They are not liberating you from your slavery. They are not liberating you from this colonization. They are not. They are not liberating you from your poverty. So God is not working for Africans, although the concept come from Africa, but it is working against Africa because even the ones African have today was forced on them. God is a man of war. So when you're talking about war, evil in the war, that's evil against nature. War is evil against nature. That's why they tell you in their book that God is a man of war. Jehovah is the man of war. Yahweh is the man of war. Allah is man of war. The God they made up. And this God is a man of war, fighting against nature, being against natural people, telling you, no, you cannot, you cannot be naked in the public, but you are born like that. Telling you suicide is wrong. But I begin to think, remember they used to say marijuana is wrong, right, Igbo? Weed, they say it was wrong. Now they're legalizing it. The same way they say abortion is wrong. Suicide is wrong. Now they want to watch you suffering and dying, suffering and dying. Then but they say you cannot decide to say, okay, if I don't want to suffer this anymore. But if you understand that, you will understand that suicide is not wrong. Okay, you stop. You're going somewhere and you feel like you're not going anymore, you turn back to your house. Tomorrow you continue. So you will be born again. You are not going to any of these people that gave you all this God and all that. They're the one that tell you suicide is wrong. You never heard it from anyone before, right? You heard it from me. Because that's one of the things they used to promote their nonsense. Oh, you see all those televangelists, somebody you are contemplating of suicide. I speak the word of God. Don't God will bless you. God will do this. God will do that. Don't lie. The same bullshit. Death is death. It doesn't matter how you die. It's death. God is a fairy in darkness and the light. So this God they're talking about, most time when believers in God tell me I'm a darkness, I'm an agent of darkness. I say I'm not agent of darkness. I'm the thick darkness. And if you read your book very well, Exodus chapter 20 verse 21, it said that God was in the thick darkness. So that's God was in me. That means, but it was talking about Africa. That's where the concept of God came first, as they said. But it was the invaders that brought it to us. That's where it all started because they found out we are builders. So whatever they wanted, they asked our ancestors by force to make it for them. If you don't do it, they destroy you. So that's how it becomes. That's why Akhenaten is the what? The father of God, the father of one God, the father of monotheism. See today. So their God is in darkness. These some people will tell you darkness is this, but God is a fairy tale in darkness. It's a fairy tale. There is no God anywhere. There is no God in Africa. There is no God in darkness. Darkness is not evil. Also, they tell you God in the light or in light. They say you God is in light, in him, all that, blah, blah. But when you read First Timothy chapter 6, verse 16, he said that God is in the light, which no man can approach. See that the God was in darkness in the Old Testament, which no man could approach. Now in the New Testament, they say it's in the light. So they claim the light and darkness and light, which God did not create. Darkness and light were not created. Read their Bible very well. It said there was darkness upon the face of the deep when the world was formless. Then he said, God said, let there be light. He did not say, and God created light. He said, God said, let there be light. You say something that is already existence to appear doesn't make you the creator of it. Let there be Poland spring water. Does it mean I'm the one that created it? No, it's here already. That's why I made it possible. I say, let it be because it's already there. Or somebody is in the other room, you call the person to come out. That doesn't mean you are the one that formed the person or created the person. The person is already there, existing. Okay, so that's it. I'm encouraging us in closing to take back your power. Take back your power. You have given your power to certain God or to certain goddess or to certain power. You believe that thing is greater than you and you're worshiping it. You are bound before it. You have to take back your power. Stop believing and start knowing. We are no longer in the age of believing. In the age of believing was called the dark age. Now we are in the age of knowing, coming to light, bringing things out of darkness to light. Darkness is the source of all things, called the earth, and from it the light is coming up. We are knowing, there to know. Knowledge is spring, but faith in God is against knowledge. That's why he said that only God's people perish for lack of knowledge. Human beings don't perish for lack of knowledge. Human beings research to know and live better. That's what human being does. That's why they are builders, not believers. That's why they are builders, not worshippers. That's why they are builders, not godly people. So do your best as human being to research for the purpose of knowing so that you can live better. Check my wall again for that post and you will really enjoy it. Famous days, last words before death. You see how I twisted it to make the taste, to provoke them to think. Listen, that thing you are saying about other people, we can say that also about you. I say about Archbishop Benson that host are there. I say about TB Joshua there. And some are even Jesus. Jesus is number one, of course. I also both evangelists are debunking. Check it and enjoy yourself, okay? Garden.